Hey people! So this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a really long time now. I've just been putting it aside for way too long, so I have like 30 minutes before I gotta go to work. So I'm gonna do it because I got a comment on my original video, hey, when are you gonna do an update or something like that? And I was like, yeah, I should. I should finally just, yeah, I should just do it. She wanted to say hi. She thinks I'm leaving for work, so that's why she's yelling at me. If you hear a little beep beep beep, I have birds now, so they're gonna be pretty noisy, I'm sure, in the middle of my video. Anyway, I have my original video here. I was just gonna like watch it. It's a 2-minute 30-second video that I did that got like let's see how many views. 8,000 views. So let's go ahead and watch it and I'll just stop it when I have some points to make. It's a very fast video.
Hey everybody, so as you guys already know, about 2 months ago I had major surgery on my chest to correct my pectus excavatum, my funnel chest.
Okay, so this was 2017, it's now 2022. So I am post-op many years.
And that basically meant that my chest was sort of incaving on itself. Like, this is your chest.
Okay, so incaving on itself makes it sound like it was actively about to kill me or something. That's not, I was born with Pectus Excavatum funnel chest, so it's just a birth deformity, I guess you would say. It wasn't caving in on itself. Like this is how I always say it. I did it in that video too. This is your, not video, this is your chest. This is my chest. So breasts, boop. It was like that, if that makes sense. You can Google videos about it. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you have Pectus excavatum and you're interested in the Nuss procedure.
This is your chest and this was my chest, if that makes sense. So, I guess I'm just gonna tell you like how things are healing up, what my scars look like, and things I like about my new chest and things I sort of not like, I dislike. I think the first thing I want to go ahead and say is that I'm probably like 70% healed, and if it wasn't for like a few hours ago, this part of my rib cage or whatever underneath my arm here like started swelling and there was this bump. It's sort of gone down now. Let me see if I can show you. So you see that bump?
Yeah, that was actually an issue that was reoccurring for a long time. I would just have this bump right here by my bra strap. It might have been irritated by wearing a bra like pretty soon after surgery, but I would just have this giant lump right where they kind of like sew the metal bar to my rib cage with like, I guess, metal strings. I don't know. I watched the actual like video of surgery, but I didn't really look into, you know, I watched a little bit of it. It kind of freaked me out. So, but yeah, I just had this like major swelling. It was super uncomfortable to lift my arm, things like that. But it was only on this side. This side was completely fine, which I'm pretty sure, let me check real quick, but I'm pretty sure that this side had the nastier scars too in comparison to this side, because I think there was 2 different doctors working on me.
Well, it was much bigger earlier, but it's gone down quite a bit, and it still kind of hurts, but it hurt a lot a few hours ago. Other than that, I'm healing pretty nicely, and I'm overall really happy with the results of the surgery, so that's good.
I definitely still feel like having a Nuss procedure was the best thing to do for myself. I'm way more confident. I can wear normal bikinis out, because back when I had Pectus, I would wear the bikinis that had like the flowing fabric right here to kind of hide it, but of course that didn't hide everything. Like small children would still point it out and be like, what's wrong with you? And things like that. But yeah, like I wouldn't say that I'm 100% healed. Like there's still days where I'll be doing like lots of work, you know, at work. I'll be bending down a lot or lifting things at work, and I'll still feel it. Like it feels like someone's sitting on me, or it feels like someone's crushing my ribs. So I don't know if that's like ever gonna go away. Things like when it rains, I feel it. Things like that. When there's like big weather changes, I'll just feel this pain. I don't know how to describe it. I guess soreness. Sometimes I'll wake up and it's just hard to get up. Things like that. But obviously it's way better than having a giant hole in your chest. I'll probably think of more things if I keep watching this.
Okay, sorry about the random outfit change. It's been a few hours since the last scene you saw. My phone died, so I had to go home and charge it, and I also changed. So moving on to the things that I don't like about how my chest looks now that it's all healed up. My rib cage, this one is protruding a whole lot more than this one is, and that definitely was not like that before the surgery.
So that is something I found out later in life. It's called a flared rib. It comes hand in hand with pectus. Basically, I was just born that way. It wasn't something that was caused from surgery. This rib, this is my flared rib. This is a normal rib everyone has. You can kind of tell when I breathe the difference. The lighting here is kind of sucky. One of the major things I can do is I can stick my fingers underneath this one deeper. I can tell. That's a flared rib. It's something that's more noticeable in photos. Like in real life, I really don't think anyone noticed. So this, you can kind of tell more the flare. See how this one's like open, this one's quite closed.
So that's mostly what I don't like about how everything's healed up. I've been trying to wear a chest.
I don't feel insecure about it anymore. But yeah, it was definitely way more noticeable after surgery. I never noticed that I had a flared rib until I had the surgery.
Chest binder every night to try and correct it, but I really don't think it's working, and it's really uncomfortable. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about this problem.
Yeah, my doctor actually wanted me to wear a chest binder, not for breast binding, but for rib binding. It was basically like a corset. It did go over my chest too, but it was supposed to bind my ribs down. He wanted me to wear that for like months and months at a time to try and correct my flared rib. Oh my god, why is my finch screaming? I'm so sorry. But basically, yeah, I gave up on that really, really fast. I was like, screw this, it doesn't really matter. Like, no one notices but myself, so.
Now I'm just going to show you what my scars look like now that they're all healed up and no longer bruised. So here's this one, and then here is this one. And as you can see on on the close-ups, this one has not healed as good as this one has. This one's still kind of bruised and it looks kind of choppy, while this one is nicely healed and looks clean, I guess you could say. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you guys my scars now, years post-op. Okay, so here is this one. Very faint. No one notices it. Here is this one. Also extremely faint. Let me show you in some better lighting. Okay, so there's that one. There's the one that I never liked. This is the one that I called choppy. Okay, so after having watched that video, There's a lot of things that I didn't really talk about, like how I figured out that I wanted to do the Nuss procedure. I had like Googled my options and I had watched the videos on YouTube of the actual surgeries and had decided that, you know, that's the one I wanted to do. It's been so many years, I don't even remember what the other option was, but in my eyes, it felt more invasive and like scarier. I decided to do the Nuss procedure because it was going to be easier. I remember that it was going to be like the easier option. Basically, they have like this big tool, this big metal stick that they stick inside of you, and then they pop your chest out, and then they insert the brace, that metal, the little smaller metal bar, in place to keep it while it heals. And then, you know, after 2 or 3 years, they take it out. It was relatively easy. Like, I remember recovery from the first surgery, the insertion, was really hard and painful, but I went home like after a day. So it was, you know, looking back on it, it was pretty easy. But I just remember it being like very sleepy. I was out of it. I felt it. It was very like a heavy pressure, like someone was sitting on top of me. I didn't really feel pain until I had to like go home and I was on the hydrocodone pills for pain. But like, it's all kind of a blur, honestly. I don't really remember a lot about it. I just remember like sitting in bed. I wasn't allowed to lay down. I had to sleep sitting up. I wasn't allowed to like walk around and do things. I had to have someone help me, like go to the restroom and things like that, watch me to make sure I don't fall down. But yeah, like recovery, to me, it felt really fast. Like I was back on my feet doing work pretty soon after surgery. I want to say like 2 months. That sounds about right. Yeah. Because in the video, didn't I say I was like, how many months post-op?
So as you guys already know,
So in the video it says 2 months ago. So that's why I was so like loopy and weird. This video was super fast. Because at this point I was still on hydro. But yeah, I remember finding out that I was allergic to all the metal before surgery. Obviously they're going to stick a giant metal bar in my chest for a couple of years. So they did a patch test on my back. They just stuck a bunch of different types of metal on my back with stickers and then waited a little while to see if I had an allergic reaction. And that's how I found out that I was allergic to like everything except for titanium. And then that's what they ended up using to make the bar, was titanium. So I did get to keep the bar that was in my chest, the brace. I was trying to find it, but I can't find it because I wanted to show you guys it's not as scary as it seems. Like the bar that they use to open you up and to flip your pectus out is like massive and scary in the video. Like the person was jerking around while they were doing it, but the actual bar that they leave in you, it was like this big. Just a small bar, very thin. They said that they wanted to use 2 bars on mine, but they ended up just doing the one. They thought it would be better, less invasive. I just remembered there was like one other thing that I don't really like about my chest. Let me see if I can show you. So I have this bump. It's noticeable in photos. My flare. So yeah, there's like, I can't really show you on video, it doesn't show up, but I have this like unevenness where the side with my flared rib, the whole chest is slightly forward. So I have this like bump, this divot thing. It looks really weird in photos. Like if I'm wearing a bikini, it looks like I have like a, you know, a lump there. But like, as long as people aren't using flash and the lighting's fine, it's usually not an issue. Like, obviously, a lump or a small bump there is better than having the giant cavernous hole, which is more obvious. I say it like that because like my chest, it was like really deep. I remember my surgeon, before the surgery, I got to meet him and talk with him. He was telling me, he was like, this is the worst I've ever seen my years doing this. I was like, wow, okay, scary. But obviously I'm alive, surgery went well. I don't really have much to complain about. Like, I'm really happy that I got it done. I feel more confident, like I was saying before, wearing bikini or like crop top, things like that. I have no issue. People like haven't said anything. I never get pointed at by children anymore, so I'm pretty happy with like the results. If you have any questions down below, just comment them. Like I said, I'm working all the time, so I'll try and get back to you as fast as I can. But if you don't hear from me in my social media, you can just DM me on Instagram. That might be better. Instagram. I'm always on Instagram. Obviously, if my handle changes in a few years, sorry. Video's gonna be up for a while. Oh yeah, so talking about like actual, when I went into surgery, they put me in a gown and I sat on a bed, or I laid on a bed in a completely different area of the hospital. And then when it was time, well, they had already like hooked me up to things, like they stuck my arm and they hooked me up to, I don't know, heart monitor, things like that. But then when it was actually time, they had wheeled my bed into the hallway, into like another room, and then put me in the room that I was gonna be in surgery in. And they put a mask on my face and made me like count. And then, you know, I went to sleep and I woke up. To me, it felt like a few minutes later, but I woke up and they were like, did you have any dreams or something like that? And I remember being like, yeah, I was dreaming about, I was on Instagram, or I was posting on Instagram. And they all laughed. Obviously I was fine, I was there. But it was just like so fast, and it wasn't scary at all. Everyone like made it pretty happy and like not scary, and they were just talking with me throughout it before I went to sleep. Yeah, I didn't really start to feel like pain or anything until when I went home and I was off the IV and I was just taking the hydro. That's when I started to feel like uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it was like pain until like a few days after I woke up. Then it started being like, actually, yeah, I do remember I was crying, but it like I said, it happened so fast and it's all kind of a blur. Like, if you feel your life is being put on hold because of your pectus, like I kind of felt like I wasn't able to do a lot of things that I wanted to do, then, you know, get it done if you want to. I make it sound scary, but I'm just trying to be like real with you guys. Like, yes, it hurt. Yes, it was uncomfortable. But looking back on it, like I was in pain with my pectus. I couldn't do anything. My asthma was horrible. That's another thing. After having gotten my Nuss procedure, my asthma has almost completely disappeared. I can breathe. I still have my inhaler and I still have moments, but it's probably like once a month when it used to be like every day, every week kind of a scenario. So that's pretty awesome. I can breathe, I can run, I can do things that I wasn't able to do before, now that I have all this extra lung space. I remember always being scared that my heart was gonna pop or something, because with the pectus, you could see my heart beating right there on the side of my rib, just beating out. And it was like scary to look at, and I went in for x-rays and you could tell that, you know, my heart was supposed to be here, but it was squished over here, just uncomfortable, cramped. It looked scary. So after having the surgery, I feel more comfortable doing exercises and strenuous activity, which before, when I was in school, I wasn't really allowed to do anything with anyone. So I'm pretty happy with the results of everything. My cats are playing with a piece of leaf. Another thing is, definitely get like multiple doctors to look at you, or specifically like a Pectus expert, because I remember going to this one doctor when I was younger who we didn't really know what pectus was at the time, so it was just like a random like checkup. I don't know why even we went there. I think, well, yeah, I had a big asthma attack at school, and the nurse there was saying that I needed to go to a doctor. So my parents took me to this doctor, and she proceeded to say that I was gonna die and I was gonna have a heart attack. And I can't do gym and I can't run. If I fall down on my chest, then my heart's gonna explode, and all these crazy things, because she had never seen pectus before. She didn't know what it was, and it scared her. So just like go to an expert, because I finally went to a pectus expert, and all of that shit was just not true, and I had just been living my life scared of the gym and things like that, and not being able to do what other kids my age were doing, which it was still a little scary after hearing all that stuff. But my pectus doctor told me that it was totally fine. My only risk really was asthma, and strenuous activity, because obviously my heart was being squished, but it wasn't like so life-threatening to where if I fell down on my chest that I was gonna die, like she was making it out to be. So that was like another kind of horror story I wanted to add in there. Just don't go to a pectus expert doctor. That's pretty much everything I can think to talk about right now. My brain is just like, because I gotta go to work. I'm glad that I could finally, get this video done. I'm sorry that my birds were super annoying, cats were yelling, washing machine is on. But I'm glad that I finally got this video done. I'm pretty sure I hit all the points that I wanted to. When I was watching my original video, I was like, I didn't talk about anything. So thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your pectus. If you're gonna go through with the Nuss procedure or whatever, you're just trying to watch people with the same issues that you have, then thank you so much for watching. Good luck.